Hello everybody, this is B and we are back and we are starting this journey all over. I'm gonna try to start doing my playthroughs all over again and more like back to back because I've been slacking. So, here we go. Welcome to Our Life Beginnings and Always. There are various ways you can customize and interact with this game. This is a tutorial and overview of how certain features work. You can read the full tutorial from the main menu to learn about everything in detail. To start off, the game is divided into 4 time periods called steps. Step 1, childhood. Step 2, adolescence. Step 3, young adult. Step 4, adulthood. I don't have the last 3. 3 and 4, I should say. Our life is further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. They're called moments. Moments can be played in any order or skipped entirely. You move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting that summer ending. Steps 1 through 3 include 5 moments each. Even more can be unlocked by purchasing DLCs. Some are out now and the other DLCs will release later on. Step 4 is an epilogue and doesn't include moments. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play as. You determine nearly everything about the main character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interests, skills, their relationship with the major characters, so on. You can decide to change details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can't be altered once set. Much of the MC's basic traits are determined on a character's creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on the screen. As mentioned, one of the decisions you'll get to make for your character is selecting a name. You can type in any name you like, or you can pick a preset name. Preset options are called voice names because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You'll get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. Only the default name Jamie is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added by getting a free voice name expansion DLC. The full collection of names is separated as a DLC because of how large it is. If you're not interested in that feature, you don't get it. Each name in the DLC belongs to or was selected by someone who supported this project. On the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what your MC looks like, with different traits put together. Now, all the things you decide about the MC appear on the doll. The script referencing what you decide for the MC is the main way those decisions influence the game. Our Life has a first-person perspective, so your character doesn't appear next to other character sprites. You only see the MC as a decorative doll and in special cut-in CG images. The cut-in CGs only appear if certain choices are made. It's possible not to see any during a playthrough. There's also a second type of special MC-based screen, the interest comfort screen. Unless you get DLCs, the game has one interest, Cove Holden. He grows up with the MC, and the interest comfort screen is crucial for determining how that plays out. Interest levels sets how much you like him. There are 4 levels: disinterest, fond, crush, and love. Love is only available starting in step 3, and if you are at fond or crush in step 2. Comfort determines how you generally think when it comes to him. There are 3 levels: nervous, relaxed, and direct. Your level of interest and comfort will set the type of dynamic your character has with the love interest. What you did in the past will influence the present, and feelings can change over time. You get to pick your interest comfort near the beginning of every step. Comfort can switch between 3 levels as you please. Your interest level can only stay the same or increase. Your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. I hope my laptop doesn't die. Okay. Your current level will become the newest lowest option. For example, if you decide to be fond in step 1, disinterest will not be available on the screen in step 2 and 3, which will make the fond bottom level option for your relationship. Interest level has an impact when it comes to physically interacting with Cove. While growing up, things are rather simple. If you get along with each other and have a close relationship, you can choose to touch him, and Cove will occasionally interact with the MC in lighthearted or comforting ways. But starting in step 3, touching can become more romantic or suggestive if you're a crush or love. To make sure things go nicely with that, there will be an extra choice to determine initiative level, and a bonus mini tutorial that goes along with the choice to explain the feature in more detail. Basically, even if you decide you like Cove, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. You can always choose not to get together with him, choose not to accept or give romantic gestures, etc. If you do decide to date Cove, though, you can't break up with him later. Interest and comfort gets the basics down, but it's the choices that appear throughout the normal game events that decide what actually happens between MC and Cove. I was making sure I was recording. And it isn't only the MC who is impacted by your decisions. Cove grows and changes over the years. How he's treated and what he experiences helps shape who he becomes. In step 2 and 3, Cove's personality appears, and interests will vary based on what happened in the previous step. It's something of a mystery exactly how your decisions end up changing him. You can try to guess as you go along. Or if you prefer, you can also just design your own ideal Cove directly using the Cove Creator option that pops up at the beginning of steps 2 and 3. Making the choices you want is always more important than making a choice because you feel like you have to in order to get a certain result. When a choice does appear, usually you'll see that hovering the cursor over an option shows a certain color, yellow, blue, or green. The colors aren't related to specific points or effects, they're only there to give a bit of insight on tone and emotion of the choice, since text alone can potentially be read in more than one way. Blue tends to be casually straightforward, yellow more emotive, reactive, and green less certain and uncommitted. Though there are hundreds of options in our life, and not every choice menu falls in the line with that pattern, picking just one color every time doesn't give a gameplay benefit. Only stick to a certain type if that's what you happen to like. Otherwise, switch between them freely. Oh, I missed something. You're welcome to enjoy the events and shape the story without reservation. And then if you like, you can play again and try something new. There's only ever more good content to discover. We hope you'll have a nice time with our life. Thank you for playing. Okay. I want to be a she. Why can't I don't want to be Jamie. B. Okay, let's see voice names. Let's say I have a bunch. Bobby! It's me! Just without my... Sorry, I got excited. I didn't know they had a Bobby. Well, if we're not going to go by B this time, we're actually going to go by my name. We have blue eyes. Is there different types of blue? Gray, black. No. Blue. Flowy. Short, medium. Smooth. Choppy too. Long. Right now, mine's not like that. Mine's a little choppy, I think. Oh, I kind of like that, though. Choppy. Braided front, choppy in the back. I'm a bit of a... You guys are like, oh god, she's gonna take forever. And you're not wrong. I guess I'm brown? We'll go brown. It's not really that color very well. I wish I could add that E on there. I got so cool. So excited. Bobby. Man, I wish I had the E. Oh well. Uh, what, here. There's my name. Next page. Birthmarks, scars, rosy cheeks. I like rosy cheeks. Freckles? Yeah. Medium size. What? Oh, hand size. I have about medium. Glasses? Technically, as a kid, I didn't have glasses, so we're doing when I was younger, so I don't want to. I might add glasses when I'm older. I mean, if we're gonna go off of that, closing types. Birthmarks. I have scars all over. I don't have it on my chest. Arms, legs, and torso. I'm a freckledy little thing. I technically don't have that many freckles in the face, which makes me sad, but I think they're cute, so I'm just putting them on there. Dresses, shirts, and pants. I wear skirts too. Hats. I don't really wear jewelry. Okay, we're done. Summer and sunset bird was special time of the year. Your usually sleepy town begins to bustle with life. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. I wish right now. We're at the end of summer right now. I'm playing this at the end of summer. Next week I start school, college. During the summer, your mom's... I might have to pause for a second. Sorry, my computer was deciding to die on me. So... Your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside the neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your moms called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. This is how my town is, technically. My old town. It's just that it's not by a beach or anything, but it's such a small town that everyone knows everyone. So, everyone kind of roamed around. I just lived too far, so I didn't really get to live that life. You didn't get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back to them anyways. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi to other residents. As a kid, I would say hi to everyone. You enjoyed learning all about where they were visiting from. I do this when I go visit, places too. I'm like, hey, where are you from? Where they're visiting from, and hope to visit those places one day too. But today there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over. You wonder if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever, or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your moms had talked to you with your big sister Lizzie about that kind of situation before. You haven't exactly been listening at the time. You think it'd be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You don't have to worry about being polite. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you felt scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door, but you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. I would have been hesitant about him blocking my front door. You slowed down, your mind racing for ideas on how to get past him, unseen. But it was too late to escape. There was a split second where your eyes met and you took in a shaky breath, your eyes darting to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey! His voice startled you and made you jump, but you still didn't look at him. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost, and its black feathers ruffled against a gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started making his way towards you. Not when it seemed too approachable, you folded your arms, still unsure about him, but wanted to be friendly, you offered a stranger a smile. I would have smiled. The man gives you a grin of his own back. Do you live around here? What's your name? You looked the man up and down, taking his tan skin relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. As a kid, I would have answered truthfully. I live right here. My name's Bobby. Great. Nice to meet you, Bobby. He gave you a broad smile, relief settling on his face. Why is he giving me money? He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him. Well, could you do me a favor? That seems suspicious. Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have let me start over. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you're standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove, who's about your age. Shoot on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. You thought that was pretty cool. You never met anyone with that name. We moved in across the street, see? He gestured towards the house that's been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Bobby Tabor, right? I met your moms earlier and they told me you're right. You were 8, just like him, so. I thought they were going to say my name. He hasn't yet. He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corners. Can you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him. But you gotta keep it a secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. You eyed the man down. You kind of felt sorry for Cove. Did the other kids really get their parents' pay for friendships? Okay, as a kid, I paid people. My mom would give me money, and I would beg people to be my friends. You kind of felt sorry for Cove. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that. What'd you say? Want to make a deal? You didn't want the money. I don't want to be paid for that. It's too weird. He deflated it enough to notice, but not completely.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? It won't be so bad, even if it's just for the summer. That'd be enough. That only made this sound more strange to you. Why does it lasting for the summer matter? When it was clear his initial strategy wasn't going to fly, he tucked the bill back into his pocket and changed the request. I get it. You don't have to. Would you be comfortable with he and I coming for a normal visit? No money involved. Okay, you can do that. Yeah, I want to meet him. I'd have to ask my mom, so you didn't answer the man. Yeah, I want to meet him. His smile got bigger again. His eyes crinkled at the sides. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I want him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but, well, I don't know where he's gone off to. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. Sure thing. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that, but you were still going to help. The man smiled and reached up to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Your moms are already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I'd better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. I thought he might come back. That's not important. I have to go. Thanks again so much. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Step 1. First sight. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You always loved the ocean. Ocean. It was so much fun. You loved to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk and the sea serpents. You imagined living far beneath the waves. Did I like the ocean as a kid? I definitely wasn't this. You didn't enjoy the beach at all, especially sand when it got absolutely... I didn't like sand, but I did love the ocean. So I'm going to go with the merfolk and sea serpents. I've always been into fairy tales. Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen the flash of a shiny mermaid tail in the distance. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you you weren't alone, so you glanced around. There was a boy sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have sad frowns. But this new boy did. You wondered what could have upset him. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another, and then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. I'm not going to call him Space Cadet. Hi. With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his sides. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees soaking the hem of his shorts. And his eyes were still shining with a few more. You obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though, when he caught you staring at it. He hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? Ah. Eyes wide, he studied you. How do you know that? I'm all-knowing. That's a lie. Tell the truth. Oh. Okay, your dad told me who you were. Oh. So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. You shook your head. While doing so, you also picked out a strand of lint on your leg. What a weird question to ask someone. Oh. He sat down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. The night wind was cool, as if it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Almost like they never stopped, his tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking to his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. I'm sorry. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. Can't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms, but it must be pretty hard. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Bobby. Cove. Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here. I want to go back to that house. I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. It'll be okay. You were struck by a sudden need to reassure Cove. It's not gonna all be fun, but isn't he your family too? Yeah, I guess. Then you can count on him when you really, really need him. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself to your feet. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked towards the sound of his dad's voice silent and then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm. Okay. Sorry, are we still recording? Hello? Yeah, we're recording. Sorry, I still don't want to go. You waited silently with him. Yeah, I get it. You do? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad, and even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of the parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Bobby, you're here after all. We had been at the park to check for Cove, and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further away. We're okay. Don't worry. Thank God you're both fine. Were you two having fun out here? You look over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. He's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. I slightly want to curious what would that be, but yes, I like him. You nodded, smiling slightly. Finally let go of a squirming, scolding son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you. Thanks very much for fighting him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Bobby knows this whole area so well. Absolutely. We should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Say goodbye, Cove. Bye. The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading towards the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cats until it disappeared. Telling you what. We'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? It sounds like words. Sure, can I show him my stuff? You nodded, ducking your head down. Sure, can I show him my stuff? Of course. Then okay. Both of your moms laughed, the sound of overlapping into warm, familiar chorus. Mommy puts her arms around your shoulder and leads you towards the path. Satisfied, more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you follow them home. Choose your feelings for Cove. Ooh! This is how you feel towards Cove for this step. It can change in later steps. Okay. Okay. Relaxed. Direct. Relaxed, nervous. Relaxed. Let's have a crush. Should we be fond? Maybe fond. Indifferent, fond. We're gonna say peer. And we'll let you guys decide how we feel. Until next time, bye-bye.